Pinchean munte sosoieto oilele no iarăle no mândră cortiozo grăzeto cofărtață s-o întâlnieto oilele no iarăle no cătă ei așa grăieto care de voi sara flară oilele nu iarăle nu să margă la Baia Mare după ptită, după sare oilele nu iarăle nu după colgen cel mai tare niciunul nu s-o aflat-o oilele nu iarăle nu numai lupin te-a fârtat-o mereu-i pintiu, mereu eu oilele nu iarăle nu de-mi da murgoțul tău murgoțul tău cel de vântul oilele nu iarăle nu cu coama până-n pământul cu coama până-n pământul oilele nu iarăle nu și-n frunte coste de-argintul pintea calul el odată oilele nu iarăle nu și la Baia o plecat-o și-n loc să cumpere sare oilele nu iarăle nu pe pintea-l făcu vânzare și-n loc să cumpere sare oilele nu iarăle nu pe pintea-l făcu vânzare Sculați, sculați, boieri mari, Hristos a născut. Sculați, voi români plugari, Hristos a născut. Că văzând colindători, Hristos a născut. Noaptea bea cântători, Hristos a născut. Și nu adu niciun rău, Hristos a născut. Că va după Dumnezeu, Hristos a născut. Dumnezeu adevărat, Hristos a născut. Soare rază luminat, Hristos a născut.
Urmează să scoți acest material pe, să zic așa, pe piață, dacă pot să spun, ca să fie la îndemâna tuturor. Mai ai și alte proiecte? Intenționezi să mai scormonești și să scoți la lumină și alte valori pe care România le are? Adică putem să vorbim aici poate și de cântecul tradițional, de dansurile pe stradă vechi, bisericile foarte vechi care sunt în patrimoniul UNESCO, portul tradițional care este atât de diversificat și de bogat de la o vale la alta, de la un județ la altul. Adică România, dacă ar fi cineva care să-i sape oarecum și să-i scoată la lumină comorile, eu cred că ar fi un material bogat. Sau ce vrei să mai faci după ce termini acest UE Carpathia 5?
Well, of course, that was one of the things that we tried to do with Flavors of Romania, because rather than doing one program, we did 9 on the historic regions of the country, trying to go into more detail to show different areas and why, tourists should visit and celebrate those areas, from Dobroja to Banat and Crișana. And, I'd love to focus more on specific things. We try to bring in elements of those when we have more time. Music, the culture, the beliefs, the language, the different languages, all these aspects. But that's a very different thing from what we're doing with Wild Carpathia, obviously. I think in the future, the thing I'd like to do the most is mainly stick to the conservation aspects, because I think for me that's the most important thing. I'm not an expert on, for example, icons in painted monasteries or types of tapestries or the use of dyes in painting and carpet making, but there are lots of people who are doing a fantastic job of preserving those traditions. I try to shine a light on them as much as I can, but I'm not the expert. So it's not down to me to pretend and to do a program on those things. I'd like to do the things that I know that I'm kind of best educated to do, and for me that's the conservation side of things, and that's something I absolutely am convinced needs to really happen here fast. And so our next project, if we're lucky enough to raise sponsors and get investment to do, is to have a portal, an internet portal, to create an online curriculum for eco-studies in schools in Romania. Because one of the things that, if you want to change the minds of and the hearts of the people, you have to really start with the children, because they're the next generation and they're open and they haven't learnt to be disillusioned, they're not greedy, they're open, and they have a natural instinct for protecting species, animals, and environmentalism, and all kids grow up with a love of nature if you allow them and if you feed that, and they want to do things the right way, but we become disillusioned as we get older. So if we create a syllabus for eco studies and offer it to all the schools in Romania, so kids can grow up learning not only that love of nature, but also solution-based thinking. Yes, of course, you have to harvest forests in Romania, but you can do so sustainably. You don't have to spray these beautiful wild meadows in the foothills of the Carpathians with fertilizers, nitrates, pesticides, destroy all the mycology, destroy all the wild orchids and this amazing. You can create organic produce. Well, there is already organic produce. You can promote it through farmers markets and all this stuff, and actually take and save what's best about this country and those wonderful the traditions of making food here. I mean, we're sitting around a table where everything here is homemade. In fact, by our cameraman, but you can't see him, and it's beautiful. Even this wonderful glass of wine, which is one of my favourite varieties of wine from the Maramures. It's just incredible grape that I've never found anywhere else in the world. But all of this produce is made here and in the local community. Okay, and that's a fantastic thing. And not only does it not have a carbon footprint, but it's organic and it's healthy, and that's why people here live to 100. We saw these bunicas wandering down the road today, obviously with the help of a stick or a great grandson, and they were coming out of the church. And it was amazing. I mean, this woman said to us, "Oh, I'm the oldest woman in the village." I didn't dare ask. I thought she could have been 200. But it's due to the food and the lifestyle and the fresh air. So, some people can say that's primitive. Some people can say, "Oh, no, we want to have cheap sausages, produced somewhere abroad and brought in here, whatever. We want to wear, Levi's jeans coming over from America, all this stuff." But actually, it's not necessarily something that's particularly classy. I think what's classy, what's sophisticated, is actually celebrating your history, your traditions, and actually, producing your food locally. Because actually, apart from anything else, you're going to live longer. So for me, that's something we'd like to do. We'd like to give people a sense of pride in those things, and we'd like to teach them ecotourism, and we'd like to make this website available to every school in Romania, and they can access all those wonderful films, the BBC made, and not just what's happening here, but what's happening in the forest of, of the Amazon, the rainforest, and what's happening in the seas, and actually teach people that we as a species need to change. Because there's so much damage being done, and it's going to be our great-grandchildren, but it's happening, and all the scientists in the world are now saying global warming is now inevitable. It is happening. You've got to be an ostrich burying your head in the sand not to believe in global warming. And it's not just that pollution and everything else. And we're leaving a mess for our great-grandchildren to clean up, and we need to start changing things now. So this is vital. There isn't any kind of curriculum for eco-studies in Romania, and this is a country that has the lungs of Europe within its borders. So it's more important than anywhere else to ensure that children are brought up with the right way of thinking. So I think that might be our next project.
Să dea Dumnezeu să îl poți îndeplini. Iată, dragii noștri, că am luat acest pahar cu vin, gândindu-mă la faptul că această emisiune va fi difuzată aproape de trecerea între ani, în care noi ne vom îndrepta cu ajutorul lui Dumnezeu spre anul 2019, și aș vrea să-l ciocnesc cu tine și să ne dorim și să ne rugăm ca Dumnezeu să binecuvinteze anul care vine, să fie cu roade bune, să ne aducă bucurii fiecăruia dintre noi. La mulți ani!
La mulți ani!
Și mulțumim încă o dată că ți-ai dorit ca Maramureșul să intre în acest impresionant film de promovare a României la nivel mondial. N-aș vrea să închei până nu ne-ai transmite tu un gând pentru maramureșeni, un gând pentru români, dat fiind faptul că urmează un nou an pentru fiecare dintre noi.
My message for the next year is, it's been 100 years this year. So let's start the next century off in Romania on the right foot, which means protect your nature, celebrate your heritage, be good to each other, don't tolerate corruption, don't tolerate people doing things without giving it any heart, and let's all work together to try to promote the things that are best about Romania. Enjoy yourself, have fun, have a wonderful Christmas, eat, drink and be merry with all this incredible natural food and wonderful produce you have in this country. Don't leave your litter lying in the snow, because when it melts it's still going to be there and it washes into the rivers and it ends up in the Danube Delta. Please, please, please don't chuck your litter away. Pick it up, take it home. That's a big thing for me. And keep this country beautiful, because it is the most beautiful country in Europe. And I hope that it will continue to be so, and maybe even grow more so in the future. So celebrate and cherish each other, and thank you, and noroc. Noroc.
Mai ascultăm un colind până gust și eu din vin.
Creștinilor, noi astăzi un praznic mare avem, ca să-l putem cunoaște. Veniți la Betleem, ca să-l putem cunoaște. Veniți
Dragii noștri, vă mulțumim că ați rămas alături de noi și vă rămânem recunoscători. Iată că încheiem încă un an cu emisiuni, zic eu, de bună calitate, în care v-am prezentat oameni de Zestre, valori pe care n-ar trebui să le pierdem și mai mult decât atât, identitatea noastră, care poate să rămână vie prin diferite activități care le facem, de la emisiuni până la jocul satului. Noi nădăjduim ca anul care vine să fie un an la fel bun și plin de emisiuni dedicate sufletului dumneavoastră, dar și mai mult cu descoperiri, zicem noi, deosebite pentru a ne prezenta cu amănunt valoarea noastră românească și maramureșană. Până săptămâna viitoare sau anul viitor, dacă pot să spun așa, Dumnezeu ne dă bine și pe anul care zine ca să ne putem vedea cu bine. Doamne ajută!